chosen one. I see you've endured some of life's hardest moments, and you're ready to embrace the victory that's been waiting for you. I've taken the powerful themes from your transcript and rewritten them into a new, expanded script that maintains the same passionate, affirming, and conversational tone, while speaking directly to your audience about rising from the ashes and claiming their God-approved destiny. They watched you fall, and then they laughed. Their sneers were loud, their mockery was bitter, and their eyes held the cold satisfaction of people who truly believed they had won. But what they didn't realize, chosen one, is that the broken pieces they left behind weren't a sign of your defeat. They were the raw materials for a masterpiece that is about to absolutely terrify the enemy. You must listen closely now, because this message is your moment of undeniable truth. They sought to ridicule your deepest dreams, casting you as a fool for daring to believe in extraordinary love and an epic destiny. They looked at your struggle, your vulnerability, and saw someone inherently weak, a person they could easily dismiss, walk over, and confidently predict would never, ever rise again. They reveled in your humiliation, ensuring you felt the sting of their rejection as they walked away, certain that your story was irrevocably finished. They didn't just reject you, they canceled you in their minds. The words they used were carefully chosen, sharp as weapons, designed with surgical precision to pierce your spirit and crush your hope beyond repair. They genuinely believed their assessment was final, thinking, who could possibly love someone like you? This venomous question was their constant whisper behind your back, a toxic lie they worked tirelessly to spread and enforce. They labeled you naive, foolish, and blind, and then they had the audacity to walk away, laughing, leaving you alone with the wreckage of your shattered heart. But here is the profound, beautiful truth that was hidden from their cynical eyes. The very ashes they tried to bury you in were the sacred ground where the divine architect began his most magnificent work. The life they thought they could destroy, he meticulously rebuilt, stronger, more beautiful, and fundamentally unbreakable. What they arrogantly declared was the final, tragic end of your story was, in reality, nothing more than the glorious prelude to your greatest chapter. They mocked you because they simply lacked the spiritual vision to comprehend what the universe, what heaven, already knew about you. They fixated only on your scars, failing entirely to see the crown that was already being prepared for your head. They fixated on the rejection, blind to the impenetrable divine protection that has been a silent shield surrounding you all this time. They saw a target they could tear down, but they were oblivious to the fact that being chosen means you are, by definition, unbreakable. And yes, chosen one, that's you. Your very presence and the unique, powerful gifts you carry are the essential fuel for this entire divine mission. If you are truly ready to rise from the despair they left you in, if you are ready to claim the God-approved love and boldly step into the destiny that awaits, then it's time to take action. Smash that like button to affirm your readiness, hit subscribe to join this journey, and drop a 777 in the comments as a declaration of your divine alignment. Let's dive into your vindication now. Let me take a moment, chosen one, to firmly remind you of the fundamental truth of your identity. You are God's chosen. His eyes haven't just glanced at you, they have been fixed on you through every single step of this arduous journey. Every single tear you cried, he meticulously collected and treasured. Every cruel insult you endured, he carefully noted. Every single time they doubted your future, God simply smiled, because he knew precisely what glorious event was about to unfold next. You see, the truth of being chosen transcends a mere title. It is a powerful, undeniable calling. It is a light that is meant to shine so brightly that it literally blinds the enemy who operates in darkness. It is a profound, life-altering power that makes your adversaries feel deeply restless, even when they've tried to convince themselves and others that you are finally and utterly defeated. You are never defeated. You are simply being strategically prepared for your greatest breakthrough. They truly believed that their intentional, spiteful rejection would be the final blow that would bury you forever. But rejection, for a chosen one, is actually God's profound redirection. Their harsh insults weren't meant to break you. They were the very tools God used to refine you into a stronger, purer vessel. The deep, agonizing loneliness you felt was never true abandonment. It was God's process of setting you apart for a purpose that far surpasses anything you could have imagined. They desperately hoped you would stay down, wallowing in the emotional rubble they created. But here is the secret they could never understand. Being chosen means that every single time you fall, the very power of heaven itself pulls you back up. Every single moment they mocked and laughed at your plight, heaven was silently writing your victory speech. Every time they called you foolish or delusional, God was precisely setting the stage for them to bear witness as you step into the perfect, powerful love story He has been meticulously preparing for you since the beginning of time. Chosen one, the forces of the enemy are absolutely terrified of you. They mocked you relentlessly because they saw the incredible, powerful person you were destined to become. They tried with all their might to destroy your hope because they know that hope is spiritually dangerous to their plans. They wanted you to internalize and believe their destructive lies, that you'd never find genuine love, that you weren't good enough, that you were inherently unworthy of happiness. This was their strategy. But let me tell you a secret they will never admit. The only reason they threw stones and insults at you is because they couldn't possibly handle the brilliant light that shines so fiercely through your very being. The only reason they left you bleeding in the ruins is because they instinctively knew that if you ever fully discovered and claimed your true worth, their fragile, toxic world of lies would instantly crumble into nothingness. And now your moment has arrived. You are about to walk directly into a love so powerful, so undeniable, that it will permanently silence every single doubter and comprehensively prove every word they spoke against you to be a spectacular, catastrophic failure. Chosen one, your true, authentic love is coming. God Himself has unequivocally approved it and stamped it with His seal. Understand this deeply. This isn't merely a human love story. It is a profound, powerful divine move that absolutely no one, not even the most cunning of your enemies, can possibly stop or obstruct. The person they claimed didn't exist, the kind of love they swore you'd never have, is already written in heaven, sealed with the Almighty's approval, and is now rapidly making its way directly to you. They operated under the delusion that their petty, human rejection would be the final, defining sentence of your life story. But God had already written the glorious ending long ago. And here's the spoiler alert for those who doubted you. Your ending is undeniable victory. The enemy convinced themselves that they had you utterly defeated, but they committed one critical, fatal error. They forgot that God always has the final, decisive word. This is your prophesied time to rise. This is your moment to step fully into the profound, destined love that was always, eternally meant for you. They laughed at your struggle, but now they will be forced to watch your ascent. They doubted your future, but now they will be forced to see your glory. Because being chosen isn't just about mere survival. It's about walking in a glory so magnificent and so undeniable that it will forever haunt those who tried and failed to destroy you. They called you a fool for your unwavering patience, but the immense wisdom of God is about to make the entire arrogance of the world look like utter folly. They laughed at you, didn't they? Every time you made the conscious, difficult choice to hold tightly onto hope, every time you refused to settle for less than your worth, they smirked and dismissed you as foolish. Why would anyone wait for love in a world like this? They mocked. Why don't you just give up and move on with your life? They rolled their eyes in judgment at your profound patience, at your unwavering faith, at your conscious refusal to compromise on the deep, authentic love your heart knew it inherently deserved. To their shallow minds, you were nothing more than a hopeless dreamer living in a fantasy world. They considered themselves so clever, so wise, but their shallow understanding of true love could never, ever compare to the elaborate divine plan God has been expertly weaving for you. But here is the truth they failed to grasp. The real fool wasn't you, it was them. The joke, as it turns out, is spectacularly on them now, because God has been meticulously preparing something so extraordinary, so breathtaking, that their small, cynical, linear minds could never have begun to comprehend it. The very quality they ridiculed, your patience, your faith, your belief in divine timing, is about to become the essential key to your greatest, most powerful victory. You were not foolish for waiting. You were profoundly wise enough to trust in the unseen process. You were wise enough to know that rushing headlong into anything less than what God had divinely ordained would only lead to a devastating future of heartache. And now, chosen one, the love that's coming your way is about to absolutely silence every single one of your doubters. They treated you as if you were truly worthless, as if you were utterly disposable, as if your heart, your beautiful dreams, and your capacity for love had absolutely no inherent value. They used you when it was convenient for their own needs, and then they callously tossed you aside like yesterday's garbage, never sparing a second thought for the devastation they caused. They utterly failed to see the incredible treasure that you carry deep inside. To them, you were just a convenience, something temporary to use and then quickly discard when the slightest challenge arose. They never once paused to consider the catastrophic impact of their actions on your soul. In their limited, self-absorbed minds, you were simply replaceable, someone who would always be available, someone who didn't matter enough to even consider fighting for. And yes, that kind of heartless treatment does leave deep scars. It makes those toxic questions fester. Am I truly worthless? Is there something fundamentally wrong with me that makes me so easy to leave, so easy to disregard? But let me firmly stop those lies right now, chosen one. None of those toxic whispers are true. The simple, unvarnished truth is that they didn't see your worth because they utterly lacked the spiritual capacity to do so. People who cannot recognize and claim their own value, you will never, ever be able to authentically recognize yours. They were spiritually blind to the immense treasure inside you because they were too completely focused on their own internal emptiness and lack. And let me tell you another vital truth. God never, ever creates trash. The very heart they deliberately overlooked, the very soul they casually dismissed, was meticulously handcrafted by the Creator of the universe. You are beautifully, wonderfully, and fearfully made, chosen by God Himself for a purpose that is far, far greater than their narrow, shallow vision could ever comprehend. They may have thrown you away, but heaven has always seen you as a masterpiece. And the most magnificent thing about God's masterpieces is that He absolutely loves to take what others intentionally discard and transform it into something so magnificent, so radiant, that even your most stubborn enemies will be forced to stop and stare in awe. They treated you like broken pottery, cracked and utterly useless. But let me remind you of the profound art of kintsugi, a Japanese technique where broken pottery is repaired using lacquer dusted or mixed with gold, making the cracks and flaws an undeniable, beautiful part of the design. The result? The piece is even more valuable and beautiful than it was before it was broken. That, chosen one, is precisely what God is doing in your life right now. What they deliberately broke, He is repairing with the pure gold of His purpose and love. What they carelessly threw away, He is transforming into something so undeniably beautiful that its inherent value is absolutely unquestionable. You are not defined by the cruel way they treated you. Their rejection, their cruelty, their utter failure to see your worth, none of that determines your value. What they couldn't see, God always knew. And now He is about to reveal it in a spectacular fashion to the world. He is turning the very areas where you felt discarded into the powerful places where you will ultimately shine the brightest. What they abandoned, God is powerfully elevating. What they rejected, God is using as the unshakable foundation for something truly extraordinary and lasting. Chosen one, your patience was not foolish. It was divinely orchestrated. It was the essential key that is now unlocking this powerful moment, the unshakable foundation upon which God is building something eternal. What's coming is far more than you ever dared to dream of, far more than your enemies could ever imagine. And it is all happening because you made the courageous choice to trust God's timing when it made absolutely no logical sense to anyone else around you. Let them keep their shallow arrogance and cynical laughter. Your deep, quiet faith has already brilliantly outsmarted them all. You don't need to try to defend yourself. You don't need to argue, explain, or prove your immense worth to a single soul. God Himself will comprehensively vindicate you. When your destined love story unfolds, it will be spectacularly clear to everyone watching that this magnificent victory wasn't your doing at all. It was unequivocally His. That kind of powerful, undeniable victory speaks louder than any words ever could. So let them laugh now, let them roll their eyes, let their mockery fill the air, because it is only temporary. What God is about to do in your life will not just silence their cynical laughter. It will instantly transform it into deep, gnawing regret. Regret that they ever doubted you. Regret that they couldn't see the divine light that was always shining so brightly in you. Regret that they so catastrophically underestimated the power of the one who chose you. God always has the final, definitive word. His powerful word over your life is absolute victory. Your love story is currently being written by the majestic creator of the universe, and absolutely no amount of human laughter or mockery can possibly erase or alter it. They laughed, but you will rise. They doubted, but you will shine, and in the end, they will all clearly see what heaven has known all along. You were chosen, and God always delivers on His most sacred promises. The love that is now rapidly coming into your life will ultimately show you, and the world, just how much you are truly worth. This isn't just any ordinary love. It is the specific, God-approved love that He has been meticulously preparing for you all along the way. It is a love that will value you in profound ways you have never experienced. A love that will treat you like the irreplaceable treasure you have always been since your creation. The person God is sending to you won't just see your worth. They will deeply, passionately cherish it. They will see you exactly the way heaven sees you, perfect, complete, and utterly deserving, and they will love you in the unconditional way God originally intended for you to be loved. Chosen one, you are not trash. You were never, ever trash. You are a treasure, and often, treasures must be carefully hidden, protected, and refined until the perfect, divine timing is revealed. The fact that they couldn't see your worth doesn't mean it wasn't there. It simply means they were utterly unworthy of it. God has been keeping you safe, refining your spirit, and perfectly preparing you for a love and a purpose that their small, broken capacity would never have been able to handle. What they threw away is precisely what God is now lifting up. The love and the overflowing joy He is now sending your way will completely, utterly complete this story. This is your revival. Nothing and no one can stop what God is building in your life right now. Stay with me, chosen one, because the very best part of your story is not just coming. It is already unfolding right now.